underneath the radar screen, and you'll never catch me tonight. Ooh. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Steve McQueen by Sheryl Crow. What a great riff writer she is, assuming that she came up with that riff, and she probably did, because she's a pretty talented songstress, that girl, and a great guitar player. So the reason for this lesson is simply that I was looking for songs for my beginner songbook, encountered this song, and went, oh wow, this is a great open G song. Not so good for the beginner songbook, but for open G, it's got a few things that are really cool to check out. The riff is awesome. It's got a couple of cool little chord ideas going on as well, which I want to share with you. So it's a little bit kind of open G lesson, a little bit checking out the song kind of combination. So let's start out by having a look at what's going on with the tuning. If you're not familiar with open G tuning, the basic gist is that we're going to tune the two outside strings down to a D. So using this fourth string as a reference tone, we're going to tune the outside two strings to that note, and the fifth string is going to get tuned down to a G. Again, we can use the third string as a reference pitch for that. If you want some more information on open G, there'll be an info card up in the corner there for you to check out, or maybe it's that corner, I can't remember. There'll be an info card and a link in the description. It'll take you over to the website and give you some more info on open G. Let's get to a close-up and check out how to play the riff. So this very, very cool little kind of bluesy riff here. First, the important thing to realize is that the G, open G tuning is all of the strings played with no fingers on, but you probably don't want to play the thicker string there when you're playing a G chord. It just kind of muddles things up a little bit. So you generally want to kind of keep that muted, probably with the edge of your thumb, or you just have to pick a lot more accurately, but it's a bit easier just to keep it under control with the edge of your thumb there. Now, any of you that have done kind of blues variations before where the fingering would look like this and you use those two fingers down here for a little, this kind of riff, it sounds like this. That kind of thing. It is just a kind of standard bluesy idea, but just she's got a really cool little melody out of those lines. So we play G, then third finger, fourth finger, third fret, fourth fret on the fifth string. Now I've just removed my thumb there, so I can just be more accurate. But if I'm, as soon as I kind of strumming up and down, it's a little bit more awkward. So I do recommend that thumb over the top, even if I forget to leave it there sometimes when I'm demonstrating stuff. So let's break this riff down beat by beat to start off with. So we've got on beat 1, the G chord, just strings 5, 4 and 3, maybe hitting 2 accidentally, but just aiming for those 3 strings. Then we've got second finger going down 3rd fret on the 5th string, third finger going down 4th fret on the 5th string, and that will be down, up. And then beat 2, we've got another G chord with a down strum. 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2. Important to get this down, down, up. So the up stroke there is just picking that one up. Beat 2, we've got the down, up, down, up. Okay, so down, up, down, just on those 3 strings, the 5th string, 4th string, and 3rd string. Or maybe more focused just on the 5th and 4th strings. Then second finger's going down 3rd fret of the 4th string. 1 and a 2, E and up. 4, 1 and a 2, E and a 3. So we've got this up, and now we're going to have another up pick on the second 16th note of beat 3. Down pick with the first finger on the 2nd fret. Okay, so this third finger, 3rd fret, 4th string, if I forgot to mention that, and then dropping back 1 fret, 1st finger, 2nd fret, 4th string. 1 and a 2, E and a 3, E and 4. And then we've got the little and here again at the end of that first bar. 1 and a 2, E and a 3, E and 4 and a 1 and a 2, E and a. There's only 2 beats worth of guitar there in the second bar. So just like we had in the very first beat, but now on the thicker string, 3rd fret, 4th fret, 2nd and 3rd fingers on the thicker string. To E and 2nd finger, 3rd fret, 5th string, back to the open strings, and then a mute. Let's have the whole riff now. 3, 4, 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and a 2 E and a 3, 4 and again 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and a 2 E and a. Now the key thing here is this keeping the strumming hand moving continuously. So down, down, up, down. That's really the key thing. As well as being a great riff for a great song, realize that you can improvise with this little note set. All within the G. Really nice set of fun stuff to improvise with. Now in open G tuning, of course, the chord shapes are a little bit different. The G chord, obviously, very, very simple. We're just playing all of the strings except for the thicker string. You can play the thicker string. It's a D bass note, which is in the chord. It just sounds a little bit muddy. But the next chord we're going to have in this song is an F chord. And the F chord looks a little bit like a G power chord, which can be a little bit confusing. That would be a G, of course, but it's tuned down a tone lower. So that becomes an F note. That looks like a D, but it's actually a C. So that's the root and fifth of the F chord. I normally add this F in as well, which is a F in regular tuning. But that's a nice way of playing the chorus part, which is going G to F to C chord for 2 bars. And now this is super easy. To C chord. Just remember that would be a C, regular C bar chord, but because this string, the 5th string, has been tuned down a tone, you have to play that note up a tone. So that note in this tuning sounds the same as that note would have in regular tuning. It's one of the keys for getting into open tuning, is realizing where the notes have been tuned down a tone, and you have to therefore move the fingering up a tone to get to your C chord. So the chorus is going G to F, then it's C for 2 whole bars, and G, then it's going back to F, back to C, which is actually, this is an F chord, as we discussed earlier. Fingered it differently, but whatever, it's the same chord. And then dropping that down a semitone, the first finger down a semitone, it's actually a C with an E bass, would be the technical name. I'll show you another way of playing that in a second. So F, C with an E bass, just dropping that first finger back. So Steve McQueen, all we need's a fast machine, and I'm gonna get it alright. Ooh, Steve McQueen, I'm gonna get to a C. Now another really nice, there's loads of layers in this song and some beautiful, beautiful guitar part playing going on here. This is a really nice F that I think I hear in one of the electric guitar parts, but you could definitely incorporate it here. Instead of to do F to C with an E bass, you could go F add 9, third finger, 3rd fret, 4th string, open G string, first finger, first fret, second string, and then drop that F note down to an E to get to the C chord with an E bass, that's an E note, going back to the G, probably with the riff. So here you go, F. These little slide downs, I don't know why I'm putting them in. I don't believe that they're on the actual track. But definitely something you could think about doing is layering up some other guitar parts there and using nice open chords for that. So just using like a regular C, F add 9, these kind of grips. Obviously they're not going to work in the regular tuning, and refingering them for the regular tuning is also a little bit awkward. As I mentioned, there's lots of different layers in this song and a lot of bits where one guitar will drop out for a little bit, another one kind of takes over. So I'm giving you a kind of an acoustic arrangement like I guess Sheryl might play if she was playing it on her own. I find playing that riff and singing at the same time really difficult. Sheryl's song, she can probably do it. I haven't found a video of her playing it on her own yet, but she's a pretty great guitar player, so it wouldn't surprise me if she could. The other parts in this song that if you needed another part would be this which is just really playing this G note and another G here with a third finger at the 5th fret, the 4th string, with the open 5th string, which is now a G. And doing a little hammer on there, so the first finger is playing from an F to a G. There's quite a few little kind of variations on this idea. Remember if that's exact, it's gone from my musical memory just now exactly how that goes, but there's some nice electric guitar, these kind of bluesy riffs that take over a little bit, and there's one other section in the bridge. It goes through this little kind of swirly bit where there's some of that octave stuff and quite a lot of layering going on, and the chord sequence just for that one little bit goes from a G to a B flat, to an F, to a C, and then it's going, I can't remember whether it goes back into another verse or a chorus at that point, but that's the end of the bridge where there's actually a melody. I can't remember the lyrics either, but it's definitely going G to the B flat, F to C, it's going back to the riff. I can't remember. It should be going back to the chorus if it's the end of the song. I can't remember. Have a listen to it and see. That's the sections. The key things to check out with this one is definitely utilizing the riff and trying to explore that a little bit in a blues context or as a songwriter, just seeing what else you can get out of it. Also checking out how you approach playing a regular chord in an open G tuning. So basically remembering that the thickest two strings and the thinnest string are tuned down a tone. So anytime you got a chord, you can move. If you take the whole chord, you can move those notes from those strings up a tone. Another quite nice example would be like an F chord. You can't play it F like that. Obviously it doesn't sound very nice. So if you wanted to play just the thinnest part, you'd have to remember that that note needs to go up a tone. So you could play an F like that. If you play just this, it's actually an F7 chord. If you want the bass note, that one's a really difficult one to get because you'd have to move it up 2 frets to that, and my fingers aren't long enough. Kind of, it's a little bit awkward, but this note you can move up to there. So that would be a nice way of approaching your F chord, full F chord, or the F add 9 if you want the bass note in there, the F bass note. Like a regular C chord you can't really do because this note on the 5th string would have to be up a tone. So I can just about play a regular C chord, but I mean it's so awkward and uncomfortable to do it that way that you just wouldn't. You'd play it like that because it's easy and it fits under the finger nicely. There's quite a few songs by Sheryl Crow where she's using open G tuning. It's great for just having this bar that you can go along, particularly, you know, she's performing, singing, all of that. It makes things pretty easy on the guitar front, and for many of you, if you're singing and playing along, you'll probably find that helpful too. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you did, I really appreciate it if you slap that like button and the subscribe button if you didn't already. And remember to hit the bell icon if you want to get notified when I'm going live. I've been doing quite a lot of live transcribing just lately and planning to do a bunch more. Do let me know in the comments as well what other Sheryl Crow songs you'd like me to do lessons on. There's so much great material. She's an incredible writer, really big fan, so happy to do a bunch more of her tunes. Let me know which ones you'd like to see. Remember, I have done a bunch of them already that you might want to check out. I'll see you for plenty more very soon. You'll take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.